We zijn vandaag bij de Kloosterkerk aan het mooie Lange Voorhout. En hier gaat een prachtige bijeenkomst plaatsvinden. De Gandhi Lezing. En de Gandhi Lezing, tezamen met de burgemeester van Den Haag, de ambassadeur van India en de ambassadeur van Suriname, om Gandhi te memoreren en de woorden van Gandhi, de levenslessen van Gandhi in de praktijk te brengen. Niet alleen vandaag op deze mooie dag, maar ik hoop ook dat door het hele jaar heen de mensen de woorden van Gandhi, de uitspraken van Gandhi, het gedachtegoed van Gandhi, de vreedzaamheid en geweldloosheid zullen uitdragen.
When I do despair, I remember that all through history, the way of truth and love have always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they can seem invincible, but in the end, they will always fall. Think of it, always. Excellency, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Rawat, Ambassador of India, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. With these words of the Mahatma, I would like to welcome you to this beautiful event celebrating the life of a man whose teachings and wisdom still form the way we act, think, and live. My name is Kavish Partiman, and on behalf of the Gandhi Non-Violence Foundation and the Embassy of India in the Netherlands, Namaste.
Ambassador Gandhi, Ambassador of Suriname, Dr. Vinod Subramaniam, President of University of Twente, my colleague, Excellencies, Ambassadors, members of Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon. Goedemiddag. Let me begin by conveying my deep appreciation to Restricting Gandhi Non-Violence for organizing this event to honor the memory of Mahatma Gandhi and to pay tribute to his key message of peace, ahimsa and satyagraha. October 2, yesterday, is marked as the International Day of Non-Violence under the United Nations General Assembly Resolution of 15 June 2007, which was co-sponsored by 140 countries. The resolution reflected the desire of the global community, quote, to secure a culture of peace, tolerance, understanding and non-violence, unquote. Our efforts in organizing such commemorative activities every year in the Netherlands and across the globe is to highlight the vast nature of Gandhian philosophy and its contemporary applicability to diverse aspects of life. Mahatma Gandhi, whom Albert Einstein described as, quote, generations to come will scarce believe that such a man as this ever flesh and blood walked upon this earth, unquote.
Thank you, Ambassador Rawat. Next, I would like to welcome on stage the Ambassador of the Republic of Suriname to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Honorable Mr. Rajendra Karki.
Excellency, Mr. Rawat, Ambassador from India, colleagues, ambassadors here, members of the diplomatic corps, ladies and gentlemen, other distinguished guests. October 1st, the Instagram profile of the UNESCO popped up on my phone, and they quoted a verb from Gandhi, and I'd like to quote it for you also. And it says, "There is no path to peace. Peace is the path." And I think I contemplated a lot about this the whole weekend, because I was invited to speak and say, what shall I talk about? And I decided to talk about exactly this. Peace is the path. And I think it is very relevant in the time that we are now living, where we see an uptick in all kinds of social media and other public discussions with an increase of violence. Death threats to leaders, people being killed in the streets, here in the Netherlands, which is a country that is perceived as very peaceful. And I thought that maybe peace is the path is something that we should take heart of. It is relevant also, I think, when I speak about my country, Suriname, where, as you know, we are a peaceful country, with peaceful people, but it was very violently disrupted in the 1980s with some serious breaches of human rights. And till today, we are struggling and fighting to come to terms with those violations. And we are trying to come to terms in the spirit and in the teachings of Gandhi.
Next, we go to our keynote speaker, who will be giving his thoughts on Gandhi. And I don't know about you, but I'm really, really interested about what he's going to say. I would like to welcome our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Vinod Subramaniam, the President of the University of Twente. Please give a big hand.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Haber, Your Excellency, Ambassador Karki, Honorable Deputy Mayor, Widjai, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor to speak to you today at this commemoration of the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi. In the peaceful surroundings of this church, inside these centuries-old walls, it is not so difficult to imagine that we reflect about peace, non-violence, and tolerance today. The church is an oasis of peace that contributes to a sense of contemplation and quiet. But we are living in extraordinary times. And out there, it is anything but peaceful and quiet. The ambassador already referred to it. We are emerging from an unprecedented pandemic that has tested our resilience and tolerance in all imaginable ways. This is the context which defines our lives now. And it poses extraordinary challenges. Extraordinary challenges to science, to government, to society, and the public order. As the Honorable Deputy Mayor and other members of the City Council here can undoubtedly attest to. I hope today to give you a glimpse into my world, that of academia, the world of the quest for knowledge, of making connections between knowledge and society, of creating impact in the world that we live in, and the challenges that we face along the way. And I hope also to be able to share some of the dilemmas that we face, and where we hope that the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi may shed some light on how to address these dilemmas.
you, of course, for joining us here today for this remarkable moment. A lot of inspiring words are already spoken, and it was very inspiring. I would like to say to the professor, because I'm also alderman responsible for the care, youth and health in The Hague, so I know what we have went through in the last year, the last 2 years almost, because of the corona pandemic. But still we are here, that is very nice. And a lot of words, many inspiring words have already said about, of course, our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi ji. And I would not take a lot of time of you because we are here, of course, as Ganesh mentioned, in the International City of Peace and Justice. And The Hague is a really special city, of course, for a lot of Hindus, because most of the Hindu people of the whole Netherlands live here in The Hague. So we are like the Hindu capital in the Netherlands, but also of the European continent. So I'm also a very proud alderman for this city.
Be the change that you want to see in the world. One of the most famous quotes of Mahatma Gandhi ji. This famous quote was today heard in beautiful speeches and past week during the marches of the school children in the cities of Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Almere, Utrecht, and last Friday here in The Hague. We could all see how we want to work together for a better future. I want to thank His Excellencies, the Ambassadors of India and Suriname, the Deputy Mayor of the City of The Hague, and our keynote speaker for their inspirational and motivational words. And Professor, it was like you had a deal with a performing dancer. And both spoke about injustice and what are we going to do about it, and we're going to fight for it. Thank you for this beautiful inspirational